Hi everyone, I'm Shauna and welcome to my channel. Today's video is the Project Pan update for July. I'm very excited. I have finished a few products, which we'll get into in just a minute. I know the June update was not all that long ago, but I decided to kind of keep with the regular timing so the rest of the year stays on track. And the last 3 or so weeks, I've been wearing makeup a ton. So even though the last update wasn't that long ago, there's still progress and there's still things that I finished. I'm wearing a new top today I got on Poshmark and I am really loving it. So let's dive right in and talk about the first product, which is a primer. So this is the e.l.f. Putty Primer. And I have really done a good job here. I used this product 13 times, which is a lot for me. And I would say I'm just about halfway done this product right now. Maybe like a smidge more, maybe like 55%. I don't think quite 60, but definitely over that 50% mark. It's been a joy to use still. And for next month, if I am able to finish this kind of section here and then work on like this section as well, like the edge here, then I'll probably get into the 2/3 finished, 1/3 left territory. And I feels like, at least right now, that I'm kind of on track with my prediction of about 3 to 4 months. I'm feeling good about this product. Next up, let's talk about the MAC foundation. I filmed this video 2 days ago. I absolutely hated the way that the footage looked. So I knew that I would have to refilm it, but I ended up wearing makeup yesterday and today, and it's just enough to finish the product. Now, ever so slightly, there is a little bit of excess around the edge. This was sitting upside down for around a day, maybe a little bit less than that, and I got all the product out. And there's just the smallest amount in here. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say here is that there's not enough to even wear this one time by itself. There's so little product left. It just doesn't make sense to keep this as in the project when there's not really anything left in here. So what I'm rolling in next is this guy right here. This is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. This is the matte version. It is a mini and it's in the shade Light. I have never used this product and it's only ever been swatched. This, I'm gonna link a Get Ready With Me I did in March or April where I tried, where I swatched this and then I wore the regular IT Cosmetics CC Cream. This is a shade that is really dark on me most of the year and only really good for summer. So this is the perfect time of the year to roll this in and to get the use out of it. What I've noticed is that this is now too light for me. It's officially too light, which, I mean, I'm not mad about it. I love a good tan in the summer, but I am wearing sunscreen. Let's all just be honest here. I'm wearing sunscreen, reapplying, that whole thing. So I am very excited to roll this in, to get in a new foundation, have a little bit of a tan, kind of try a new product, and hopefully pan this. I don't know how long this is going to take me. This has 12 mils, so it's just shy of half of the 30 that was in here. And this took me about 3 or 4 months to finish this whole thing. So I'm thinking that this would probably take around 3 to 4 months. So that should take me to around October, and I keep my tan until September. So we'll have to see how long this can be in here, if I have to roll in something else to mix in. I'm not sure, but all I do know is that I'm super excited to have in a new foundation and get to play with something new. And I am very proud, by the way, that I finished this. I have worked hard on this foundation, and what I have noticed and kind of why I'm excited to roll this out is that this does not play nice in the summer for me. I only wore this in the winter and I guess the spring, and I have no prior experience with this foundation. And the past few weeks when I've been wearing it, even to go shopping as an example, it has just not held up, and it's just the kind of thing that melts off my face. So I was not looking forward to wearing this in the summer. It doesn't have any lasting power. on just me in specific with my skin type. I do have oily skin, so it just like is the perfect time to finally get this out. And this was a favorite and something I had considered repurchasing, but after the way that it wore the last month or so, not like actually wouldn't repurchase it. And I wore that foundation 12 times. The next product on here is the concealer. I was there last month and I'm now about here. This was so difficult to see into the bottle. Last month I was able to shine a flashlight and kind of see where we were at, but didn't go so well this month. There's a chance I might be a little bit farther down than here, but that's only, you know, where I could tell. I wore this 12 times as well. I wore my L'Oreal concealer a couple of times here and there. This is starting to get too light. It still works with the kind of powder that I have now, but I am like on a whole more tan. And with a foundation like this, like if this one's gonna be the main foundation, this might be too late. So I'm gonna see and do my best to keep this in for as long as I can. I may have to roll it out or mix it in with a new product, but we'll see. We're roughly around the halfway mark now, which is absolutely exciting. I do really, really love this formula. The concealer I think is excellent. I really think it's an excellent concealer. However, I do not like the applicator. This pump is stupid. MAC needs to discontinue it, like repackage this, because the formula is too good to be in a package that's so crappy. So that's that. I'm feeling very talkative today, so here we are. Next product, the second finished product of this update is the Lawless powder. She's empty. Very happy that this is out as well. This product taught me that I really do like a loose powder, but this particular one is not that great. And I say that because when you physically looked at the powder, you could see actual like chunks, like white chunks within the powder, and everything wasn't milled all together super fine or all that nicely. And what that was like literal chunks of talc in the powder. And so what would happen is that you would put it on your face, and if you happen to get a chunk of talc, you get like a white streak. And there were a couple of times where like up here or just somewhere where I would like brush it on my face, I'd get that white streak and then it just wouldn't come off. Like it wouldn't blend away or blend out any kind of way. So that's super unfortunate and unflattering, and it kind of feels like you're playing roulette with this. Am I gonna get a nice big white chunk of talc on my makeup today? Not a fan. What I have decided is that I will not be rolling in a loose powder for now. And that is because I currently have a powder in my 100 uses project, and I've been getting a ton of use out of that ever since finishing this one. And that's because that particular powder has like a tint to it. It's like a pinky kind of cast. And most of the year, it's too dark to actually use as a setting powder on top of makeup because it just is too dark and looks very unnatural on my skin. But now that I'm more tan, I can use it on top, no problem. So I'm getting multiple uses out of it, like under makeup, over makeup, and as an under eye setting powder. So I use it 3 ways every time I do my makeup, and it's been looking really, really nice. That powder, as I've just said, is only good with the tan. And the other powders that I have, or like the next powder I was thinking of rolling in, was the Glossier powder. And the version I have is like their light shade or translucent, I'm not totally sure, but it's light enough that I could wear it any time of the year. So I'm gonna roll that in at a later point, like after the summer or when I roll out the Marcel powder. So I am gonna roll something in, but just a different product category. I guess that's all to say. I'm rolling in something different, and I am rolling in this. It is the Coola Makeup Setting Spray with SPF. It has SPF 30. This is a really, so this product is one that I bought a couple of years ago but haven't worn a ton. And so I don't want this to just sit around and then the SPF to expire. And I think it's also a really great way to get to reapply your sunscreen when you're wearing makeup. So on days like today, I put my sunscreen on a couple hours ago after I washed my face and before I did my makeup. But now I am going out in the sun, so this is just like a really easy way to reapply. And so I think it's just like the perfect product for this time of year. I am about halfway through. It was super hard to estimate the product. There's no, like, you can't see inside at all, period. So what I decided to do was weigh it, and right now it weighs 11.92 ounces. And so we'll weigh it again. Next update. Either way, that's the only mechanism for tracking that particular product. In the past, when I've put in products that weren't really trackable, like mascara or this guy, you can't see in here. So for me, it kind of takes away the fun of having like progress photos or making tallies or lines on your product. I kind of love that. So weighing it is the best thing. So that's what we're going to do. Now let's talk about the Hoola bronzer. Last month, I did talk about potentially rolling it out. And what I decided is that as long as it's usable, I'm going to keep it in. So if that means only using the product 5 times in a month, that's fine. I hate wasting makeup, and there's nothing really for me to do with this product other than throw it out because it's kind of a mess. So however long I can use it is just the play for me, and it's still usable right now. So I'll show you the product. It has just been like progressively getting worse and just breaking up more and more. I'll have a photo as well so you could see it. The product has been progressively just breaking up more and more, and it's just kind of gotten worse. For those of you who maybe don't know the backstory to this is the Hoola bronzer, and I repressed it a couple of months ago. However, it broke up immediately, so I repressed it again thinking that maybe I was too rough with it, but it immediately cracked. Like the moment it started setting, it was just like cracking, and it just kind of got worse. So the Hoola bronzer is, I guess in my experience, not something that represses well, and I don't like this product because it is so patchy and difficult to blend. So what I've been doing is I've been layering this over top of my Hourglass bronzer. I'll put that on first and then put this on top. So I have been able to use it. I've got 10 uses out of it, but not what you would consider a full use, just more like I'll put it like right up here, and I think you can see I did use it today, and I tried to blend it out, and there's a couple of patches. It does look a little bit better than some of the other days, but it is what it is, and I will deal with a patch now and then to kind of get use out of the product. I won't use it alone because I think it's horrible alone. And I did put on a little bit more than I needed today because I was really trying to get a use in here, but there's progress nonetheless. There's one more completed product, which we'll get to in just a minute, but a couple of things before that. I have not included the Ofra eyeliner in this update because I forgot to buy a sharpener. I was reminded of that fact when I was gathering all of the products for this update and was like, you have a lip liner you haven't used in a month. Why not? Oh, you don't have a sharpener. So it's now officially on my shopping list to hopefully get next time I go to the store. As for the e.l.f. eyebrow gel, I did weigh it last month. I used this 13 times and it weighed in at 0.28 grams, no ounces, 8 grams. I weighed it again and there was no change. So I don't know if the use is actually so subtle it wouldn't track change. There is only 0.12 fluid ounces in here to begin with. So the amount that I'm tracking, 0.28, is just slightly double than that. So my guess is that I must be getting close on here because the packaging has to weigh a significant amount. But I am still getting lots of product when I dip my brush in, so not even time to pull out the stopper. I think I will once I get down there, but not at that point quite yet. It's still going strong, so no issues. I'm gonna keep it in the project. Let's now talk about the Bite Multi-Stick. She's been in here since the beginning. We are more than halfway done this product at this point. Very excited about that. We are now about here. You can see that. I used this 13 times. The progress is, again, steady, not the biggest month, but looks pretty similar to the months before. Next up is the last product that I finished, which is this. I finished the Smith's Rosebud Salve. I got all the product out. Like, I was squishing all the product out until not a single drop came out. I did not cut the product open because I'm not a huge fan of this product. It's just not really worth my time to dig all my fingers in there and get all that out. Don't really enjoy it. The product I'm putting in its place is the e.l.f. Ride or Die Lip Balm. I am just about here. I used it a couple of times this morning, so just like a hair under there at this point. This is a product with a formula I'm also not a fan of, but if I don't put it in a project, I won't use it, and I have already used it before. The reason why I don't like this is that the formula is super finicky. This product will seize up in a heartbeat if it's in too cold of a temperature. So then you're sitting there playing with the product to try and get something out, and that's like, you don't want to have to finagle your product just to get the product out. So this is a product that's in here where I can use it and I'll be fine using it, but if I don't put it in, it'll just kind of sit around, and that's not really what I want with my makeup. I've bought it and I've used it, so it's time to fully get the use out of it. And I think I could blow through this rather quickly, probably maybe 3 months. At least that'll be the goal. Now onto the last lip product, which is the Fenty Lip Gloss. There is just a little bit of movement there. I was there last month and I'm now down at this tally. This is the lip gloss that sits in my purse because it goes with like any kind of look that I would basically ever wear on a day-to-day basis. So I used this around 15 times and it is a true joy to use. There's a chance that I could have used it more if it wasn't in my purse. However, like, the logic to this just makes sense. When I go out, I just want like a foolproof, whatever. I would like a foolproof lip product, and that's this one. I also want to keep one in my purse because otherwise I will forget. There's nothing more annoying to me than dry hands and dry lips, and once they're dry, it's just like always on my mind. So if this sits in my purse, it just like is the perfect formula. I love the color, I love the way it looks good with everything, it's a joy to use, and keeps a lip product in my purse I don't forget about. And I managed to use this 15 times without really even thinking. So this kind of formula works for me, and I'm gonna keep it in my purse and continue to get some use out of it. Last up is the Hourglass Palette. And I am making some big moves on here, guys. This is what it's looking like. The bronzer is becoming my everyday bronzer, as I have already talked about. I thought I would see a greater dip in this pan after using it basically every day. Well, not every day, every time I wear makeup. That's the bronzer. When I compare it next to the blush, it is flatter than the blush. I have used the blush a couple of times, but not as much as the bronzer, and it is a bigger dip than that. So it's clear that I'm using it. I just thought it would be bigger. Also, the dip between these two colors is getting super big. I'm gonna have to show you the pictures because it's kind of amazing. And I hit a baby pan, like the littlest corner right there. I wouldn't totally qualify that as pan because it's a corner and it's probably already low to begin with, but it's nice that I'm starting to see the pan like somewhere, and it's giving me faith that I'll be able to hit pan on something by the end of the year. The new goal is to completely finish up the bronzer, and I think I can finish up these two shades by the end of the year because I'm using them as a setting powder, not every day, but some days, and that's just kind of been nice. And then I also use that this one here as a really subtle highlight, and that's been nice on days like today where I'm not doing a whole lot with my makeup look. So that's the update. I finished 3 products. I am the most kind of over the moon about the MAC foundation. A lot of hard work has gone into finishing this product, but I'm so pleased with this. Foundation is like a really big part of my like everyday routine, and I finished a lot of lip products, but not a ton of foundation. So really happy about that. Also great to have the Lawless powder out as well. And I am actually really excited to start rotating this in for my everyday routine. And I'm very curious to see what 1 month worth of use will look like for this. That's everything for this project pan update. Thank you so much for being here today and following along with this project. Let me know if you're panning anything in the comments. I would love to hear it. In my most recent video, the like what I would use first if my makeup disappeared video, I will link that. A lot of you included your own favorites, which was very interesting to read about. So I love when you all share what's going on in your life and your favorites as well. If you like project panning content, I would love for you to subscribe and join the channel. I have 3 project pans on the go and lots of kind of conscious consumer beauty fashion content on this channel, and I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again around here soon. Bye.